Okay, welcome back to With the Director. Today, I'm the director. We're talking about the second episode of The Mindless Show, the rest of it, Fuck, what was the episode called? The Morning Show edition.
No. Jesus.
I didn't forget that at all. Pierre, of course, is still here. What was the actual... I think the episode was called Good Day Australia, and Others, or And Everywhere Else, or whatever. Of course, that was when I kind of started implementing two titles for the episode. One that would be inside the episode credits, one that would be on like the thumbnail, because Morning Show Edition doesn't exactly point out as like, oh, it's whatever. Like, I don't know if that's on the thumbnail or not, but like the title and whatever's on the thumbnail is just like to pretty much grab audiences, kind of, you know. So yeah, the Morning Show Edition. This one, easily my favourite episode because it's just the most bizarre episode of the season, inspired by Get Kraken, and pretty much most spoofs of morning shows, Get Kraken in particular because it's an Australian one, and pretty recent as well. I mean, even the cooking segment was going to be inspired by their other show called, fuck, how am I forgetting? I have this show on DVD and I forget the bloody names. The Catering Show. Two great show. That has two seasons with the Get Kraken being like a spiritual sequel because it's like the same characters. Because of course they are outside of the Kates, who are the same bloody characters in both shows, they have extra characters and it's just a whole fun, weird ride. And so, the choice of guest-wise, I had Lewis as my co-host because I knew that, as much as like he's a good friend of mine, I've known him for a long time now, and I knew that we had this good kind of comedic dynamic, and he was good as both an actor and just as a funny guy. So he had a good natural improv to himself, which is good. That really helped being a co-host because he can take charge and lead if he needs to, which is, I found, very helpful. Sorry, I was just cracking my back there. That wasn't weird at all. Yeah, I found every scene with him quite fun. We pretty much, script-wise, because this was the most scripted episode outside of the last episodes, the last two episodes, because they were actually scripted. This one was more or less, this is how I want the episode to go by, like in terms of, like, segments and stuff, and pretty much what I want us to say in a way, but it wasn't, of course, an actual direct script. Still improvised. The jokes were pretty much still improvised. And that was just fun to put together, and it was just like, Lewis, I want to do this. Then we sat down, we did it, it was very fun. No need for multiple takes too, it was pretty good actually. And we stayed in character for the whole episode, which I very much enjoyed. Even the additional like edits I put in, like the banners and that I had in the first part was again inspired by Get Kraken. And the part of the dogs was mostly because it's like, oh look, it's a cute dog reel that turns demonic as hell, because that's the point. And that was fun to do. It's just a little surreal little edit. Second guest, I'll go into the best, save the best to last, as they say. Second guest being Zach as Mr. Bubbles, or the hypnotist. He was originally actually meant to, I don't think he was meant to be the co-host. He was meant, originally the whole episode was going to be a whole fiesta of like all of us being there. It was like going to be like 6 or 7 of us cutting between each person. It was going to be a whole mess of stuff, but then like it was very limited time to film. Conveniently my parents were out of the country at the time, so I had a lot more time like by myself at home to film, and it worked out much better the way it ended up, I think. The part with Zach was very interesting because it was just literally he came over and we just shot that whole scene. Everything you saw was in it. And of course, me waking up, of course he didn't actually hypnotize me. I had to act like I was a dog and a cow and stuff, and that was very, very weird. I tried not to laugh so many times. And he was very good at what he was doing, Zach. And Noah's camera work as well was very good. And I ended up, of course, when I woke up, you know, I had that whole trippy ass dream, whatever, which of course was a montage of, which was that whole thing that I shot for the trailer, mixed with Zach being this evil kind of dude, and it wasn't exactly meant to say that like he was the actual bad guy. I was just meant to say that like he may be the bad guy in this episode, but who really knows? Like, who really knows what you actually think when you're hypnotized? You know, outside of people who have been hypnotized. I won't ask them. I don't care what they say. yeah, so that was quite fun to do, and I very much thank Zach for joining us in that episode and just being there for that one scene, because it was just very strange and very fun. And it's still, I think it's still very much fit in with the whole idea of a morning show thing, like, oh, here's this special guest who has this very lame talent, but we'll get him in anyway just so we can get more people watching the show. And I like playing along with that whole idea of it being live. We had the musical guest segment, which obviously did not pan out. We were intending a musical guest. I won't say who it was. It was a good friend of mine. But they weren't available to be on the show, so I figured, hey, let's make a joke out of it instead. Not as an insult to the person, but just as a joke about all musical guests being on shows and whatever, and the possibility that they can't make it and whatever, and how hectic that could be. And so, of course, we had Lewis replace as the musical guest at the end of the episode, having that whole demonic end being a reference to the music video Thriller, which was quite fun to film. Tricky to film, but fun. Yeah, and then, of course, we had Noah doing his cooking thing as that guy, and that was just, of course, me and Pierre just talking to him, being like, should we really wake him up? Because, again, it was a public holiday. And so we were just standing there. Of course, my dad fucking still passes the bloody camera in the bloody episode, which annoyed me, but I was like, let's leave it in, and just being the whole thing of like, oh, we're totally not amateur, totally not filming this like a week after having filmed everything else. And that was just fun to do, especially correcting Lewis saying like, oh no, it wasn't with Mr. Bubbles, it was with that guy, you know, like, because originally Zach was meant to also film the cooking segment, but I don't even know why we didn't do that. I thought it would just be more fun to have Noah doing it. And last but not least, the best part of the episode easily, actually I don't know, Lewis is pretty damn good, having Lachlan in the episode as Bluff Boy and for Lachlan Reviews the Movie. Of course, Lachlan Reviews the Movie just being a joke on the fact that we've done all these other Lachlan reviews, and it's like, oh, they're so popular, we're going to make a movie. It's like, what the hell would you review? And he's just outside. And that was funny too, because we'd already done a Lachlan Reviews the Outside World, which was him at Luna Park. And then we just had him actually in a garden, which is more outside than Luna Park is. And that was in the movie. And I liked editing that one because it was just, we had all these outtakes that we just left in it just to add to the comedy factor, and I really liked that. I think Lachlan did a great job. His parts where he was as the weather dude, our weather correspondent, that was quite fun to film. It was, we met halfway because he lived quite a fair distance to my old place. So I travelled like an hour and a half on bus to get to his place. Or not even, I was nowhere near close to his place, but we're like the halfway mark. And it was not a good day, windy, it was probably going to rain at some stage, it looked like crap in terms of weather. And it was perfect to film at because it was just such a shitty looking place. I think it was sunshine. It was sunshine. It looked like crap, and it was perfect. Lachlan's improv skills have just been like, oh hey, look, it's the town square behind me. It was a railway. It was the fucking train tracks. Yeah, there's nothing about it that was anything near an actual town square. The place doesn't actually look that bad, but it's not fun to be at. Comparing that, whilst I was getting the camera out of the bag, like I was kneeling down at the camera in the bag, getting the camera out, and Lachlan was standing next to me, and a car drove by, and there was a few people in there who thought that I was proposing to him, and then Lachlan was like, no, we're making a movie. Yeah, that's a better thing to say. They were fine guys anyway. They were just driving off, just having a laugh. It was good. Didn't get stabbed at all.
More than likely you're going to get stabbed in like Glen Waverley or something.
Oh, possibly, yeah. But yeah, we didn't do much for the intro. No, there wasn't much for the intro or the outro to the episode. Just whatever the hell we did. I don't even know what the hell the outro was. But no, I really liked doing that episode. It's easily my favourite. And I just think every part of it is perfect. So yeah, thanks for watching with the director, talking about the morning show episode of The Minor Show. Feel free to check out any Minor Show episode or further with the directors, with the director episodes. Yeah. Of course, I'm filming this all in one go, pretty much. At least that's what my notes are telling me, because I haven't written any more notes. So I'm pretty much improvising the rest of this stuff. Yay! Alright. I'll see you guys later. Bye.